just a normal lecture and seminar, what do you think that should look like?
Well, when we came, suppose I'm talking for everyone, we expected like a big lecture hall, one person at the front kind of talking at us, but that's not what we got.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between lecture and seminar. Lecture, usually I've seen like the big lecture hall, and then seminar you take us back in small rooms to discuss what you've spoken about in the lecture.
It's interesting you said that your sort of perception was that it should be a big hall. Where do you think that came from?
Movies.
Yeah.
Alright. So obviously that's not what happened with Chiara, because you have slightly different way of learning. So how do you find that? What do you think about her method?
I think it's more intimate, so you get to actually build a relationship where someone understands your learning and you get to ask questions, more specifically to what she explains. So like on the Panopto videos, you don't really have to sit and look at it. You could just have your headphones in, do something whilst listening, and then make some notes, then come in class and we would discuss and do an activity and build from that.
So is that like the only course that you're being taught in this way, or do you have other courses similar?
No, I think it's just
Just this one?
Does that mean with Panopto videos?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. I
Okay,
think-
yeah, just that one.
Yeah, just this one.
Okay. What do you think about her videos? How do you find them? Do you think
Useful.
they're...
Yeah.
It's a resource to, like, obviously we could always go back. If we missed something, we could always go back, listen, see, do our own research. And what she talks about as well, there is more, we could see that, she's explaining more thoroughly than when you're actually in class.
That's interesting.
People come in, they're late, you have to start again. So, having that, is just it's fluent, just everything.
How long are usually the sessions that she records for you? Or do they vary completely from like 10
they
minutes
vary,
to half an
yeah.
hour? Okay. So that means that you have to engage with something before the lecture. Do you think that's a good thing? Or is that basically taking your time and then you don't really want to engage with content before, you just rather have everything delivered to you in the class?
I think it's a good thing because it gives you a bit of background knowledge on what you're going to do before the session, so you can still go away and do research before you come into the session and discuss it further.
And do you do additional research?
Sometimes, yeah.
I think it's a bit of both because, for some people, they wouldn't really look at it. Some people don't, and just come to class and listen from others what they have seen and everything. So, I think it is beneficial anyways. I think it's really good. There's a bit of both.
It's true, because I'm going to hold my hands up and say I'm that person that doesn't always watch the Panopto. And sometimes it is good because you don't have to, like for example, because sometimes we always get notes and a recap on our Moodle, which is where we get all like our resources from. And sometimes I don't really want to scroll and look. Sometimes the Panopto is better, but then sometimes I don't mind, but then sometimes I'm like, no, I just don't want to watch my teacher.
And also you can listen to them on the go, so you're doing something or you're out and you can still listen to it at the same time.
Yeah, that's useful. You've mentioned you don't sort of always engage, but what about you girls? Do you try to always watch the thing or engage with, it might be even like a reading that she may give you?
Try to.
Yeah, she put some, I think, like on last week one, I believe, on feminism, like the links and stuff. I actually went on and looked and checked and watched the videos because it was really, to me, it was helpful in understanding the topic. So it's not like boring type of thing. It's something that's modern and understandable that she puts out.
Okay, that's great. Do you find it useful that when you have the video, you also have her basically recording of her face? or would you rather not have that?
Doesn't really.
I don't
think
think
it's
it matters.
matters.
Yeah.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking you this question is because sometimes lecturers are saying, well, I don't necessarily want to have my video there, I'd rather just have the slides. But what you're saying, it doesn't really matter then.
I think it's a bit more engaging as well.
Yeah.
When I see
okay.
my teacher in front of me, I
You
do.
were actually like listening.
Yeah, it's actually
taking it
there. She's kind of. She's not there, but it's like she's there. Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Something that I was asking actually Chiara before was whether she also gives you some sort of activities to do before the lecture, because in the like a typical flipped classroom method, you have the content, but you also have some sort of activities. So that will be again a little bit more work for you. How would you feel about that? Would you be happy with engaging more activities, like maybe doing a quiz based on the recording? More work?
So. I don't know.
Yeah, just once again a bit of both.
If it's a quiz,
Yeah,
then
it's a quiz.
If it's a quick
Short.
thing, then
Yeah.
cool, then that's fine. But if it's something really long, then you be put off
Yeah.
of it. So I think
Okay.
if your lecturer discussing something about a topic, then especially if you're interested in what they're talking about, you're gonna take note and then you're gonna go do your own research, which I believe finding further information, we can't just take what the lecturer says all the time. That's not gonna help you in your assignments. You have to still do further reading, and your further reading would link with what they are discussing. So research, I think it would definitely impact on research skills.
Do you think this method adds a value or more sort of engagement to your course? Sort of kind of mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Would you like to see something like that more on your other courses?
Definitely.
Yeah.
What would be the way to convince or encourage maybe your other lecturers to do it in this way? What do you think?
I think because maybe attendance might be like really low, and if they know that they make this Panopto, students are still getting the information, and they know that if they come to class, you get a broader overview of what the Panopto was about. So you get to learn all the details, the theory, but then you get a practical thing that you have your own experience, you have a better explanation and discussion within class. To hear from other people is more engaging, I think it adds a lot of value. If you come in, then I think people would like that better.
I think
Students as well.
you can get more of a discussion going. So sometimes when people haven't done like the background reading and stuff, they don't really know what's going on. But with the Panoptos, like you can kind of remember what they said, so you can get more of a discussion. So it encourages other people as well.
So you think that it actually encourages people to come to the session?
Yeah, for those who,
That's interesting, because sometimes what I hear from lecturers is the fact, well, if I record something on Panopto and I give this to our students, they are not going to come because they will already have the content. But actually what you're saying, it works the other way around, because you do want to come just because you know that you'll have more sort of exposure and you'll go into more depth.
I think it depends on the individual. So,
I think that sometimes people don't come in because, do you know what I mean, they can't, they're sick and stuff. And I think that the Panopto kind of it caters for everyone. So some people are not readers, you know what I mean? They don't want to have a reading every week, they won't understand and stuff like that. So it kind of caters for different kind of learners, and if you're not in, at least you're still getting some of it, because you might not be in for a serious reason. If you choose not to come in, then that's also your business, but you've still got something going on, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. How important it is for you that the video that is being produced by your lecture is a sort of a good type of video? Like Chiara mentioned that randomly sometimes she had her cat, jumping on her or something happened. Does this put you off when you watch it, or you don't kind of expect the BBC sort of quality?
No, I think, it's normal, because at the end of the day, she's a human.
She's at home.
At home, and it's kind of, I think it's cool because you get to see inside their homes. to see them, you know, not just always the lecturer, you could only talk about this, but you can actually see them as a normal person.
That's true, because obviously they're in their comfortable environment, and obviously if we're watching the prenuptial from our rooms, we're also in a comfortable environment, so it kind of links and it kind of feels alright listening to them and stuff. Yeah.
Makes it more personal, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Did you understand from the beginning when she started introducing this sort of different way of teaching why you're doing that in a certain way? So you knew sort of what her rationale behind introducing the videos and so on?
Oh,
I mean, she did explain if we watch the videos, then when we come to class, we can actually discuss it more, and then there's extra things we could talk about, more things which increases our engagement. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's great.
It's nice that she's actually taken the time out as well to actually do that, because obviously she put in her slides and stuff on the Panopto, but to take the time out and talk about it, it's important that she's showing that it's important that we understand, do you know what I mean? That
Some
she's-
people wouldn't like take
yeah,
their time.
it's just
out.
like, oh, here's the
Yeah.
reasons if you haven't done it, then do you know what I mean? She's given us.
Yeah.
more.
And it shows that she cares as well. Like she actually, I feel like she doesn't want us to fail. If you know what I mean, she gives us more. And they'd be surprised there's some lecturers that just don't care.
No, they just give you the
Yeah.
reading.
Literally,
That's
they
it.
tell you what books,
And
and you
it's-
go and do it yourself.
Yeah, it's self-learning.
Yeah.
It's your choice. We don't have to tell you anything.
Yeah.
It's up to you what you do. So
Because obviously, me coming from like a sixth form, because when I came, so I went to sixth form, and I came here, and obviously sixth form is very intimate. You're kind of, the teachers are always catching up, asking you where you are on the lesson, and they're always helping you, giving you extra.
Yeah, they're like giving you more resources.
And yeah, and here, I was under the impression that you were on your own. You literally go to your lectures, and that is it.
You have to
it's-
find your own resources in terms of your assignment. and
Exactly,
stuff,
but
it's
then
not-
coming here, it kind of changed it a little bit. Obviously, you're still independent, it's still independent learning, but I feel like here they definitely offer support.
And is that across all courses or
it's
is it
like
sort of-
some.
Some, yeah.
So